Welcome to the press conference for Ben Shelton. Please raise your hand if you would like to ask a question. Ben, incredibly tough day for you today. I guess amazing performance, but not the result you were looking for. If you can just give us your initial thoughts.
Yeah, it's a tough match. Jannik played well, a lot better than me today, and yeah, tough end to a good tournament.
Ben?
There was some uncertainty. We didn't know how Jannik would be feeling after his injury in the previous round. How did you see his game, and were you also unsure how it would be on his side of the net?
No, I thought he would be fine. You can't go into a match thinking, that the guy's not going to be at 100%, and his ball was coming off pretty big today, so didn't see any difference.
Matt?
There's only two guys who are beating you in Grand Slams these days. I'm wondering, if you see it that way, and what do you think, when you think about it and you view it and you go to the practice court, what are you focused on in terms of trying to close the gap?
Yeah, it's frustrating. There's a lot of things, it's two very different players and challenges, and with Sinner, who I've played the most, his ball speed is really high. Never seen anything like it. You don't see anything like it when you're going through the draw. When you play him, it's almost like things are in 2x speed, and I'm usually pretty good at adjusting to that speed, but yeah, it's difficult when a guy's hitting the ball that big, that consistently off of both wings and serving the way he is. So I had the right idea for a lot of the match today. I served a lot better than I did in Australia. Smarter. I just went for it. But my first serve percentage dropped in the moments that I needed it, and I probably just played too tentative. It was almost like a lot of the forehands that I was hitting that I needed to go for, that you need to go for against a guy like that. I was kind of spinning them, topping out, like I was playing on a slower hard court or a clay court. And for me, I'm still learning on the grass what works, what's most effective, and I didn't, have a great day today of doing things that were going to make him uncomfortable.
Just follow up on that one thing you said about your first serve percentage dropping in the moments when you needed it. Is that just because these guys put so much pressure on you that in those moments you feel like you got to make the perfect shot or something, the perfect serve, or what's your sense of that?
I don't know. Yeah, probably a little bit of it. You feel consistent pressure playing a guy like him who returns as well as him throughout the match, but yeah, I think possibly trying to go a little bit too big on the first serve in those moments, or hitting it too hard, and my tempo gets quick. I tend to miss those serves in the net, and being able to stay calm and keep my motion the exact same and know that my normal service motion, where I go after a first serve, it's going to show up at 140 on the clock. It's not like I go and hit my smooth service motion, it's going to come off 122. Go for the flat serve and with a smooth motion, it's going to come off 140. But I'm chasing 147 sometimes in those moments, which is stupid.
You mentioned after the previous match that it was your return game that you're still working on as well. How did you feel about your overall return game today? Because Sinner was saying that he praised your serve and said when it's 140 in the line, it's basically impossible to return.
Yeah, I think it's not underrated because the stats show his serving, it's the best on tour, one or two, and it makes things difficult. My returns improved a lot. I'm returning well. But it's tough against a guy like that. You get to 30 and every single time that I got to 30, I didn't see another second serve, and I hardly saw two balls after the serve. It was just first serve to a spot, and the forehand was gone, or there was no forehand. So that made it difficult. I put myself in position a few times, and when I did put myself in position, it wasn't really on my racket, to be completely honest. A 15-40. We played 4 points in a row, just too good, and there's a love 30 in the third set that maybe I had one look. But yeah, overall my return game has improved a lot. Just those crucial moments, he outplayed me today.
Liam?
Despite the loss, what would you say are the positives that you take from your performances so far this cross-court season?
And feeling more comfortable on grass, for sure. The way I'm moving, the way I'm returning, hitting the ball from the ground, it's better. It's not where I want to be. But, I have 6 weeks to do everything humanly possible to be ready and better at the U.S. Open. It's my favorite tournament of the year, and yeah, gonna go after it for these next however many weeks that I have.
Howard?
Are there things you can take from the success you had in Paris and the success you had here, both the best you've done at these two events, but completely different services, but are there things that can transfer to the hard courts and the rest of the season for you?
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind I'm going back to my favorite surface now in the U.S. summer, a better player compared to where I was in March. There's no doubt. Just athletic ability, movement, ball tolerance, shot selection, feel, finishing at the net, return game. It's like playing on these uncertain surfaces where there are bad bounces or the ball checks off the line, or on clay, you have a lot more bad bounces. You learn to adjust, and I feel like my game has improved a lot, got a lot better. So fitness is huge in the U.S. summer. That's one of my main focuses before I start in DC. And yeah, I just want to be at my best at the U.S. Open.
Lucy?
Ben, tough one today. So congrats as well for making it to the quarterfinals. You're only 22 years old and you've made quarterfinals now of every Grand Slam. Does that kind of fill you with confidence going forward in terms of, you're the early stages of your career, but you've achieved quite a lot in a significant short time?
Well, I haven't made quarters at French, only around 16 there. But the other three, yeah, it's I know that I can play at the Grand Slams at this point. I know that I have the ability to, be deep in the tournament when it's 3 out of 5 sets. And at this point, it's just, what I do when I get there. Obviously playing against the best guys in the world where everyone's feeling the sharpest. And yeah, there's just things that I have to improve on. So yes, I could sit there and be like, wow, 22 years old and I've been able to do these things and achieve these things, but my mind is, I don't know, critical. I'm a critical thinker. I'm, trying to solve problems. I know that I'm not where I want to be, and, that's kind of what I'm focusing on. Obviously, being closer and being in the later stages makes you even more hungry and makes you feel like you can do it and you can break through. So I'm definitely grateful for, these opportunities and runs that I've had to the late stages of these tournaments. But yeah, my mind is just kind of locked in on, the work that I have to do.
Okay, Willie, did you have a question? No? Okay, we'll take one more from Ben in the middle.
Sort of following up on that, just emotionally, like what's your degree of satisfaction versus dissatisfaction with these results you've posted this year at the slams?
I'm definitely not satisfied. You know, it'd be a little bit tone deaf to say I'm dissatisfied with what I was able to put together on the clay and the grass courts. I always say that I want to, you know, go one step deeper at the big tournaments than I did the year before, and I've done that at every slam this year. I've done something that I haven't done before in Australia, French, and here. So I wouldn't say that I'm satisfied, but yeah, can I be or feel confident coming off, you know, the first 3 slams of the season, going into the 4th, and encouraged and excited about the opportunity at the U.S. Open because of what I've put together so far this year, yes, but yeah, at the same time, still stings.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.